Tell me what's happening. What's the? Tell me what's happening. Oh, are we filming?
Hi, I'm Noah Holloway, the host of What's the Buzz in Greater Binghamton, with today's guest, mother of Mabel, actress, and owner of Mabel Dior, Heidi Weeks.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you for having us. We're here at Mabel Dior to see what is the buzz and also see if we can get some cool little things to leave with. Let's get going. So Heidi, what was the idea to make Mabel Dior?
Well, the idea started actually with my sister. She and I have been longtime thrift shoppers. You know, we started shopping at the Salvation Army on the east side of Binghamton back in, the 80s. And we'd always loved secondhand clothing. And she always said to me, we should start a store. And we kept talking about it. And so it just kind of morphed into this great idea. And then she actually got us a space in Provincetown, Massachusetts on the Cape. And the name came from basically two family names put together with a D in the middle. Mabel was a great aunt who was in museum curation, actually, in Cooperstown. She was really into antiques. My grandmother was such a fashionista, so she's the face of Mabel. She's the picture you see on the cards. And then Orr is another family name, distant family, so we put it together and we just thought it was a good fit. And we opened up in 2013, in May of 2013 on Cape Cod. My sister ended up moving, but she said, you can handle the reins from here, so I took it on myself, and it was great. And I stayed there 3 seasons. But I really missed my family, my parents, my community, and it was a seasonal town, and I wanted something that would be growing and contributing to more of a larger community all year round. So I moved home and I found a space on Clinton Street originally. So I was down in the antique district, which was great, but this spot opened up. And I got this space in 2018 and we've been here since. And what I've really tried to do is curate. I tried to create sort of an artistic way of shopping unique and one-of-a-kind fashions. I was proud to open a store here. I wanted to give back to this community, so I'm here and I love it. We get so much clothing in here because I'm happy to say I source my clothing primarily from Binghamton closets. People call if they're either downsizing or if someone has passed away. I don't really go to estate sales. I actually get called to go to the estate and go through the clothing and either buy or consign it and bring it here. If I do buy it, I don't care where it was made or when it was made, as long as it's like in great shape and it's unique and it's fun and eclectic. You just never know what people are looking for when they walk through that door, so you have to have a variety. But because we got so much inventory, we recently renovated, so had racks built on the walls. My boyfriend and his brother built these great copper pipe racks. And we just opened up the middle so that people could sort of see different things and shop little vignettes in the middle and, have a yoga class in the morning.
Have you tried?
I have done yoga in here. Yeah, I actually have.
So Heidi, tell us about this whole new rack with the color schemes, and obviously you talked about your boyfriend and someone else made these new copper. These are nice.
Basically we wanted it simple, and so I basically put brackets up that I spray painted copper to match the copper pipe. It was very simple, and then wallpapered shelves. But we've always liked to keep things in color scheme. When you come into a store that has one of everything, it's so easy to be overwhelmed. And so we try to put things sort of in a color pattern or color scheme, as you would, and we do them by size. Jeans are probably the hardest thing for people to shop for. Pants are my least favorite thing I sell because everybody's different and designers try to cut for people, but we're all different shapes and sizes. Size is proportional. So when you come in here, the other thing you have to remember is these things are maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years old or more. They're not today's sizes.
That's true.
So don't feel bad if you have to go up a size or two because it's just different. So look at the shape of the garment and go, yeah, hold it up. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. It doesn't matter what that number is. When people go in the dressing room, we're old school service. We start a room for you, we're there for you, we give hands-on styling. But when you're finished, if there's things that didn't quite work for you, we always say, just leave them in the dressing room. We'll take care of it. It's nice for the customer, and it's also nice for us because we know where everything goes, so we can keep it in order.
So now here we are in the black and white section, but before we talk about that, I want to talk about something you mentioned before we started shooting, how your love for Iris Apfel, and I've seen pictures of her there. What's the connection? What's the love for her there?
Well, I've always been a person that loved a lot of layering. Like if I don't know what to wear, I just wear it all. And she had such an interesting life. You know, she was an interior designer. She and her husband decorated the White House, and she just had a love of different textiles. She does have a line of clothing. I think she's 102 years old. She's still going. This is me. More is more and less is a bore. Iris Apfel. Now, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
I get that. It's not for everyone. In here, we will always try to maybe take you a little out of your comfort zone. And sometimes it's fun for people just to have that chance to try it on, but we'll pull back. This section is the biggest section because most people are comfortable in black or white or gray. It's a nice base that you can add color to. It's slimming. It's everything. Frida Kahlo, she's all over the store too. Her use of color in her work and her dress, being a woman who was physically disabled, had suffered such a bad accident on a bus. She was in constant pain and she wore braces a lot, so she compensated by dressing over it elaborately with mixed florals and bright lips, and she just had those big eyebrows, and just she was such an incredible user of color and such an intense artist. And so for me, putting clothing together is kind of my visual art, so I'm always inspired by art. Fashion is art to me. She was a huge inspiration. I did a whole window display of her. When there was this show in Brooklyn, at the museum in Brooklyn, I couldn't go, so I decided, well, I'll bring it to Mabel. And we did a whole Frida Kahlo-inspired window with fashions and prints of her art. I even had a dress form dressed as her husband, Diego. And I mean, we had Mexican pottery in the window. It was probably my favorite window ever, but they're both big inspirations for me.
You mentioned you love thrifting. The hype for that has like skyrocketed.
Yes.
Do you consider yourself like a thrift store?
A boutique, I would say. Because I sort of curate, I always tell people you're paying me to do the weeding and the seeking out for you, and then everything in here, if I buy it, it's laundered or it's dry cleaned, it's steamed, it's sprayed. If you bring me stuff, it has to be clean, but we still spray it and steam it. We're putting things in more order for you. We're creating sort of a story and presenting pieces that have been taken from places and put on a pedestal. Thrifting is great because there's that element of hunt. Now, as I said, I don't thrift so much anymore because it's being done so much that it's hard to find things thrifting now.
Yeah.
So Noah, I think this is a great look for you.
I like this a lot.
So basically, we've just added on to your existing outfit. This is this like light wool plaid 70s jacket. And this hat is just gorgeous. It's
I
from
love the hat.
Australia. It came with like the little stretcher. This is a
Yeah.
very expensive hat. And then this is kind of a cool line this is a new line that we've been carrying called Kedzie. And it's like kind of a unisex. It can be hooked here for just a regular crossbody, but you can like swing this up on your back.
Oh.
See? And you can just wear it like a pack sack. And then if you want to get really super hip and like it's, you want to wear a jacket, but you're, wanting to feel just that little element of cool, you can do the push, show your ink, looks good. See? Because then it suddenly becomes the shacket.
A shacket?
The shirt and a jacket combined.
Oh, that's clever.
I really like this look on you.
I
I
like this
like
a
the way
lot.
the hat's on the back of your head. Because technically it's probably a little small for you, but it kind of works,
It works.
that way. But I mean, this is the kind of thing we love to do the most. We really like customer service and dressing people.
Yeah.
I love doing fashion shows.
So what's that about? Because you have one coming up, or you did have
Yeah,
one? Or?
well, actually today there's a fashion group at Binghamton University. They're doing business and fashion.
Okay.
And they approached me about using some of our clothing for their show. So they came in yesterday for a fitting, 4 models, 2 looks each. And they picked looks that they liked. And I was there to help facilitate, but they really put their own styles together. It was fun to see what young women like to put together. And there were some really creative outfits. And I also like to use people of all shapes, sizes, ethnicities, races. I don't want a model for my fashion shows. I want people of all sizes, all different types of people, because that's who's wearing the clothes.
All right, that's our show. Heidi, thank you so much for having us here at Mabel Dior.
My pleasure.
If you guys are interested in any of your fashion boutiques, come here to Mabel Dior on 118 Washington Street, right here in Binghamton. I'm Noah Holloway. This has been The Buzz in Greater Binghamton. Now let's buzz out.